All right, example 6. All of a sudden we don't have matching inverse and regular trig functions. We don't have tan with negative tan. So we're going to have to set these up by drawing a triangle. So here's how it's going to work. I'm just looking from the inside first. I'm just looking at the arc cosine of 2 over 3. The arc cosine says we need to figure out the angle where the cosine would be x and r, or in the case of a triangle, adjacent over hypotenuse with values of 2 and 3. Okay, so we've got 2 and 3. We're saying if we have that triangle, all right, next I want to do tan theta. The theta comes from this triangle we've just drawn. So it says, give me the tangent of this triangle. Well, tangent equals the opposite over the adjacent. At this point we know the adjacent is 2, so our job is we got to figure out the opposite. So we're going to say 9 minus 4, square root of that. This is Pythagorean theorem. So the opposite side is root 5, and so that's our answer. So let's look at this problem again. It's saying if we have a triangle where when you do the cosine, the values of the triangle sides are 2 and 3, take that same triangle and figure out the tangent. All right, so let's take a look at another example here on B. It's saying here we've got a triangle where the sine angle gives us triangle sides of -3 and 5. I knew to draw it down because I know that our hypotenuse always has to be positive. All right, so the y value, the opposite side, must be the negative. All right, we've seen enough 3, 4, 5 triangles to know that this side is 4. Got the triangle all filled out. We can do anything we want. In this case, it says, give me cosine. So cosine is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So our triangle is going to be 4 over 5. All right, see if you can straighten that out for problem 57. All right, here's our answer. We've got ourselves a triangle. Tells me tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, 2 over 1. So 2 over 1. This is going to be square root of 4 plus 1, or root 5. And from there it says, give me the cosine of that angle. So cosine theta is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. That'd be our answer if we could leave it like that. So to finish it up, we'll have to go root 5 over root 5. So our final answer would be root 5 over 5. Good job if you got that. That's not an easy problem. All right, last problem here. Last example is example 7. We're going to do the sine of the arc cosine of 3x. And in this case, they are telling me that x has to be smaller than 1 over 3. Why would they have this restriction right here? Well, remember that cosine's got to be smaller than 1, because you can't have x over r or adjacent over hypotenuse where the hypotenuse is smaller than the adjacent side. All right, so we know that this works. They're telling us it works. Let's draw our triangle. Here's our theta. This is the same as saying 3x over 1. So here's my adjacent side, 3x. Here's my hypotenuse. Let's figure out the sine. For sine, I'm going to need this opposite side over here. Let's figure out what it is. So it's going to be the square root of 1 squared minus 3x squared, Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to simplify that as 1 minus 9x squared. And so to do the sine, what we're going to have here is opposite over hypotenuse. So final answer simplified is square root of 1 minus 9x squared. All right, the principles are exactly the same, but now we're getting a little more complex with the algebra. So let's try it again with B. We're going to do the similar type problem here. We got 3x, and so arc cosine of 3x. We've got the same triangle, so let's use this triangle here we've already drawn. Let's do the cotangent this time. So the cotangent says adjacent over opposite. Adjacent side is 3x over root 1 minus 9x squared. Of course, they made it difficult on us here. Let's get rid of this and put it on top. And so our final answer would be 3x times the square root of 1 minus 9x squared all over 1 minus 9x squared. Not the prettiest answer in the world. Getting a little more complex here, so make sure you keep track of your square roots and your squareds and all your little pieces. See if you can do it for me on 67, and that's your last problem. You're all done. All right, here we go. Here's your answer. Your triangle starts off with tangent, so tangent is opposite over adjacent. We could figure out the hypotenuse. It'd be 1 squared plus x squared, or just 1 plus x squared. It asks us for the cotangent. Cotangent of theta is adjacent over opposite. Oh, they made it easy on us. Adjacent is 1, opposite is x. We're allowed to leave it just like that, 1 over x.